Hello sunshines, welcome to Bunnyfish Crafts. I'm your host Heather, known as Bunnyfish on a bunch of internet places. Today is July 13th. I'm pretty sure. It's Monday for sure. And I am here to go through my unfinished objects with you. So, in case you're new here, I normally do a vlog throughout the week or throughout the month and kind of smush it all together with like what I'm crafting, what I'm reading, what I've been up to. And then at the end of the month, I talk about my long-term whips. So things that are taking me many, many months to work on before completion. And that's a new thing that I started this year. But I have projects that if you've been here for a long time, you have not seen for years. I have some of those. So I want to look at them. I want to talk about them a little bit. Everything that I'll be showing you today are things that I would like to eventually accomplish because I actually already recorded this. I recorded this in segments over a few days, mostly in the morning before I got too hot. But when I went to edit it all, I couldn't find multiple clips. So I'm just going to re-record the whole thing, hopefully in one go, and, edit from there, so that it's all in one place, which means I may have to pause because it may get warm and I may need to go hydrate. But yeah, I want you to see my UFO list because I want to finish everything that I have right now, except for I had two project bags that had this yarn in it. It is Cascade 220 Superwash, and the bags, one of them was holding a project. So I was making myself a pair of over-the-knee worsted weight socks with the intent of striping this white yarn at the top in athletic stripes, because I had made myself a pair with green athletic stripes and I was like, oh, I want another pair. But then I didn't end up wearing that pair of socks a single time this past winter. So I don't know that I need another pair if I'm not wearing the pair that I already have. And then the other bag was just holding the extra yarn. So I've just kind of put it in a plastic bag so I can put it in my stash. I have 4 partial balls. 4 balls that I'm fairly certain have most of the yarn. 2 for sure that do have all of the yarn. So that's not an insignificant amount of yarn. These are 100-gram balls. And can I access the yardage on any of these? 220 yards. Oh, duh. Cascade 220. I knew that. It's 220 yards a ball. So not an insignificant amount of yarn. I could make a bigger project with this. I just don't know what I would want that to be. So let's talk blankets. In this bag, I have a bunch of pink squares that were sent to me to make blankets as part of a project, but then the project stopped. But I had all of these blanket squares like in reserve. So right now I have 2 rows of 5 together, and I have a 3rd row of 5 ready to be attached. I think I have more than 25 squares in this bag, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this into a 5 square by 5 square blanket and then border it with this cream color that I'm using to attach it. The squares are knit and crocheted. They were not made by me. The yarn is all acrylic, all washable. And they're all, is this 6 inches? No, maybe, no, 8 inches. I don't remember. There was a required size for the squares, and the yarn had to be acrylic so it would be washable. So I'm gonna make this into a baby blanket and then just put it in my stash because, again, if you're new here, hi, I'm a teacher. I'm on summer vacation. And I have several coworkers this past year who had babies, and I don't know that any of them are going to get pregnant this year. Any of my coworkers, like, we didn't have anybody just get married or anything. However, all of my coworkers who were pregnant, no, 3 of the 4 coworkers who were pregnant, it was their first baby. And I feel like there's a possibility that there will be future progeny. So I'm just going to make this and hold on to it so that if someone's having a little girl, I can give them a blanket that's all these traditionally girly colors. I also have a cousin who's getting married in August, so like she could have a baby soonish. I don't know if she even wants kids, but you know, with societal norms and traditions, like there's gonna be at some point a baby who can use this blanket. So I would rather put it together and have it be a finished thing than kind of just sitting there. I don't have a deadline for this. I don't have a timeline, but I am kind of thinking that this UFO video will lead into my crafty goals for 2027. So if I finish this year, cool. I'm not prioritizing it, but you know, with a cozy weekend, I could finish putting all the squares together and start a border. Like this could be 2 weekends away from being finished. I mean, I could finish it right now, but I have so many other projects that I have in priority that this isn't high priority, but I would like it to be done. And it's just really, like, it's really pretty. All these different yarns, all these different stitch patterns. Yeah, I love a scrappy blanket like this. And I kind of miss the project because it was just fun. It was sad. The concept behind the project was sad, but saying it was fun to put together the squares. Knowing what the project is sounds callous in my brain, and that's not what I'm trying to be. But anyway, I do want to finish this blanket. If you've been watching my long-term whip wrap videos, you will know that I'm working on a Totoro Starry Night that is squares. But the pattern is actually a corner-to-corner blanket. And this is how far I got on it. Corner-to-corner graphing is not my jam, I have found. Corner-to-corner blankets are fine, but it's a lot of ends to weave in. See, like, you can see that there's so many ends hanging off. It's a lot of ends to weave in. It's a lot of like really, really paying attention. So, and the person who I was making this for was like my work bestie, but more than that, she was like my outside of work bestie too. Like, I really struggle with relationships. I have autism. So like I really struggle with relationships. But she was, you know, we talked outside of work too, because most of the people who I am friends with at work, I don't talk to outside of work, but she and I did. And And then something happened. She went through a traumatic situation, and we just stopped talking. If I'm being honest, I don't really know what happened. And I tried to like talk about it, but she got overwhelmed. She's also spicy. So we're not friends. We just don't talk outside of work anymore. So I would feel weird putting all of this time and effort into this blanket for someone who I don't really talk to that much. And like, we don't even talk daily anymore. So, right, do you think that would be weird? I think that would be weird. So I kind of rage quit the blanket and put it aside, and it's like, oh, I'm never going to do this. I'm just going to rip it out, use the yarn for other things. However, I have another friend who I think maybe I want to finish this for, because they are also very into Totoro. I do have the pattern right here. It is quite beat up, but that's the front page of the pattern. Unfortunately, you can no longer get this. It was from Etsy, and it's by Geeky Sloths. I don't think you can get it on Ravelry. But it's so pretty, and I love it so much. So yeah, I'm going to continue. This is a side tangent, but also like I do have imagine projects. Wouldn't this be so cute as a cross stitch? Speaking of cross stitch, I have one that I started a long time ago. It is a dimensions kit. Don't fall. So it's dimensions. And how cute is that going to be? It's a counted cross stitch. It has the thread, blending filament, I don't know what that is, 14 count navy Aida needle, and instructions, designed by Julie Fain. And it's done in half cross stitch, demi point. I think that I've also heard it called tent stitch. And this is how much I have. So I do want to finish this. I did mean to pull it out this month and work on it. But then there were just other things that took priority, because I was meant to be working on this while I was also working on the cross stitch that I am actively working on. But I have so many other projects, and also I don't know where I am in this pattern, and it won't take me that long to figure out where I am. But I'm nervous about writing on the pattern itself. So I need to make copies, and it has to be colored copies because the chart is in color. So I need to make colored copies of the chart so I'm not nervous about marking on it, because my worry is that I'm going to mark something incorrectly and then like irreparably damage the chart. Whatever, I need to do that to be able to work on this project. So it is on pause, but I do want to finish it because it's so beautiful. And from cross stitch, let's move to sewing projects. This is an old one. This is like from back at the beginning of the podcast vlog. I don't know even what I said about it. This is a quilt top that I started a very, very long time ago. Somewhere between 12 and 14 years ago. Probably 12. No, maybe 14. It was a long time ago. I started this to make for my kid's dad. And back when we were together. So that was a really, really long time ago. And I had enough of these fabrics to make a queen-sized something. I don't know where all of my squares are for this blanket. I've looked around my room to see, and it's probably in the basement somewhere, but I don't know that, well, I definitely know that I don't want to make this project for him anymore because I feel like that would be weird. And also I was originally going to make it king sized, but I have 6 squares by 6 squares. So not king sized, but it is kind of like a small throw size, and I could make it, you know, a bigger throw size depending on what I do for like a border fabric. So I think in 2027 that I want to, I bought a very beautiful backing fabric for this. Don't know where it is. Probably in the basement, and I'm just not willing to put in that much effort to find the stuff, if I'm being honest. So I think I'm going to find a backing fabric. I love this so much. The black and white fabrics I definitely bought for this project, and I bought the blue and the yellow, I think. Or maybe I had the yellow. No, the blue came from my roommate's mom. Was going to make me a quilt before she passed away, and this blue was leftovers from the quilt that she cut for me. And then all of the reds are scrappy bits of fabric from a quilt that I made for my best friend. Did you know I make quilts? It's been such a long time since I've made one. And some of the seams on this are machine sewn. Some of them are hand sewn. I'll probably hand sew the rest of it, even though I do have a sewing machine. I don't ever pull it out because I don't have a dedicated space for it. So yeah, 2027, I'd like to finish this quilt. And then I do have another sewing project that I've just barely started. Sometime back in college, it must have been, I saw a rug made out of denim with raw edges facing up, so it was fuzzy on the top. And I've had this idea for 2 decades approximately to make a rug out of old jeans using 6-inch squares, and then as like one patch, and then the next patch would be 4 3-inch squares sewn in a block, and alternate those to make a rug. And I have started that, but it's at my boyfriend's house, so I will overlay some footage here of me cutting out some of the squares. You know, if I could have that done by 2030, that would be really, really great. But yeah, it's just a project that I really want to make. I think it would be so cool. I think it would be so fun. And I've been collecting denim for, no joke, 20 years. So it's time to put that to good use. Let's talk spinning next, because I have a lot of spinning UFOs. And I want to finish all of them because I love the idea. So first up, I have these 2 turtles. This is 4 ounces of fiber from, Hippie Penguin, no longer a dyer. 2013, right? 2013 club. This is Superwash BFL, and the colorway is Carnival Bears. And I had a braid, and my friend had a braid, and she just wasn't really digging the colors. So she sent it to me, and I fully spun up my braid, but I haven't spun up her braid. So I want to do that. But the spindle that I'm using for that is the spindle that I'm currently using in a different project. And yes, you can absolutely mix spindles, but I don't want to. So I do want to finish this though. So once I finish my current spin, which is from Deviant Fibers, you'll have seen that on the vlogs recently-ish. Once I finish my spin on Deviant Fibers, I would like to put this on the Turkish spindle that I'm currently using for that. I had a spin on my wheel. I had a wheel. I no longer have a wheel. It's my fault. So during the pandemic, I did a lot of spinning on my front porch. Loved it. And then things started opening up and I left my spinning wheel in my living room, not in the safest space. And there was a child fueled casualty to my spinning wheel. And it wasn't something that I could really replace. I mean, maybe if I had done more research, I could have, but it was a fairly inexpensive wheel that I had gotten third hand from somebody. So she had a really long life. So I no longer have a spinning wheel. I would like another spinning wheel. I want a treadle wheel though. I don't really want an e-spinner, even though I hear people being like, oh my gosh, e-spinners are amazing. I really like the action of treadling. The wheel that I had was a single treadle. I really want a double treadle. So someday, not now, but someday I will buy myself another double treadle wheel. But anyway, I have this that I started on my wheel and the tag is long gone, but it is Pigeon Roof Studios. I think the yarn was Punk. I don't know if that's a colorway or a base. I feel like that's the base, but I don't know what the makeup is. I'd have to look it up. Oh, there's an errant fuzz on it that I just put in your face and an errant yarn. Let's put this in your face without all that junk on it. Okay, much better. And it's really, really beautiful. Yeah, look at how pretty those colors are. It's lovely. I feel like this was a gift from a friend. And I do want to finish it, but I am a little like, I don't know, because I don't have a wheel and I was spinning it on a wheel. So I'm going to have to spin it on a spindle. So that's going to be a mental hurdle that I have to get over before I can work on this project. Someone just started mowing their lawn. I hope that's not too irritating. I did wait while 2 other people mowed their lawns to start this, but I apologize if that is, if you can hear that and it's disruptive and irritating. Okay, so I have, oh, it has a name. Jewel Tones. It's 100% silk. It's 7/8 of an ounce that Jenna from 716 Knit dyed up. And it is, look at these beautiful silk hankies. Oh my gosh, they're so, it's so beautiful. And I had this Tussa silk, I don't remember who the dyer was, that I spun up a while ago. And I am plying them together as I finish whatever quantity of the silk hankies I have. I just spin it up on this spindle, which was also a gift from a friend. It's a bead spindle and it has a hook on the end. And this is an Ashford spindle, which was a gift from a friend. Most of my spindles were gifts from friends. The Turkish that I'm currently using and the Golding that I'm currently using were gifts from friends. So yeah, I do want this to be finished. I think it's so pretty, like that blue with the, you can't even see how pretty it is. The blue with the jewel tones, it's gorgeous. No idea what I'm gonna make with it, but it will be lovely. I have some skewers that have just little bits of fiber left over from previous spinning projects. I think that I had intended to make a monster skein. You know what? I do. Hold on. I have this, which is a bunch of different fibers in a bunch of different colorways. A bunch of like little tiny samples and stuff that I had with the intent to make a monster skein. So these will also go into a monster skein, and eventually I will make some sort of monster or toy or something out of this hand spun. I have thoughts. 2027 is going to see this, just so you know. I have thoughts on that. And then I was talking about how most of the spindles I have I didn't buy, but I did buy this one. This is Spanish Peacock. It's a supported spindle. It's beautiful. I might have the tag somewhere with the information on it, but yeah, it's beautiful. And it doesn't have anything on it. I know this is not all of my spinning, though I don't know where. I started a sweater spin a long time ago that I worked on for a few months and then set aside, and I don't know where that project is. I have not scoured all of the corners of my house, obviously, but I don't know where I put it. So somewhere there's a sweater spin on a spindle that I did purchase for myself. So that's out there somewhere. And then I just have some knitting and crochet in this bag, which was given to me by a viewer, and then it started looking very like dingy because it had a white background with these beautiful green leaves, and I loved it. It was beautiful, but it was looking dingy, so I just really leaned into that and like over dyed it gray. In here is a dishcloth started, and so I have cotton yarns. I do not enjoy making dishcloths, but everybody who I've gifted dishcloths to seem to enjoy it. So I am going to hold on to this. It's going to go back in UFO land. I'm not going to really worry about it right now, but someday I'm going to want to make another dishcloth for somebody. My boyfriend really likes the scrubby one I made him last year, but it's still going strong. The one I made him is still going strong. So maybe next year, maybe 2028, I'll make another dishcloth. It's just really not my thing. This bag is not actually a UFO. It is Imagine Knitting. But I have in here, let me pull them out. I have these commercial yarns that I think would be really, really fun to make socks for my oldest kiddo out of. Not necessarily a matching pair because my oldest kiddo doesn't really wear, neither of my kids are really, really particular about their socks matching. But I make my oldest kiddo socks using the same recipe for every sock. So even if the colors don't match, like the fit matches. So I'm actually putting this in my summer sock basket as like, that would be like the third stretch goal I think that I'm on. My stretch goal. I probably won't work on it until the fall, but they are basically vanilla socks. So they're super, super easy, really great school crafting. So I'm going to keep it here so that I can grab it easily. And the last UFO has actually become a whip, but when I started this video originally, it was a UFO. I hadn't worked on it in a really long time. I have this beautiful kitchen counter crafter bag that I just love because it's knit stitches, but they look like fish. And bunny fish, obviously. And the inside is these beautiful, like minty blue, greenish color and brown. And I mean, it's the same as the top. I guess I could have just showed you that, but I just love it. It's so cute. My bags get very abused. Look at how I've abused the top of this bag. Anyway, this project, I remember not liking the yarn colors and being like, oh, this is going to be ugly. Like when I opened the bag in the original recording of this, I was like, oh, I don't even know what to do with this. And then I looked at the yarns and I was like, what am I talking about? I mean, this color right here, definitely not my type of color. But it's pretty. Hold on, sneeze break. So it's like golden yellows and oranges and kind of russety red in there. And then there's this color, which gorgeous. Different shades of blues and greens and like leaning a little brown. And then this is just fun. It's got aqua pops and rust pops and cream and a little bit of yellow. So actually really gorgeous altogether. I don't know why I thought that I hated this. I don't know. Probably because I was in a mood where I really couldn't handle orange, because sometimes, Ange, if you're watching, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But sometimes orange just makes me angry and I don't like it at all. I like orange in nature, but like if it's not a flower or something to do with the sun, I don't really like it. Even orange birds, I'm kind of like, But this is beautiful. My sister bought those yarns so I could make her chaotic neutral, which is a cowl or shawl. You can do it either way, that I designed. And look at how pretty they are together. Why did I think this was going to be ugly? Clearly, it's ridiculous. So this is going to be, you'll see this again on my long-term whips, because when I picked it up, I was right here. That's all I had. I didn't even have this part where it's wrapped, like that row where the stitches get wrapped. I didn't have that. I had just barely started it. So just for right now, just for the month of July, not forever, my plan is to knit something on this right now. So when I was doing this round, because of the needles that I'm using, they're like a knitter's pride, I think. US size 5, which is a 3.5 millimeter needle. They're the carbons. And the row that I was working on was really unenjoyable because of this join. And it's not the needle's fault, because the rest of it has been just a pleasure to knit on the carbons. I just think that the setup round, before I get to where you wrap the stitches, I'm going to have to knit on a straight needle, because there was just issues slipping the stitch over this join, which again is not a problem for the rest of my knitting. It's just for that round. This needle is holding a provisional cast on because I'm making the cowl for my sister, I guess. And I would like to finish this cowl by my sister's 40th birthday, which is a little over a year, like a year and 2 months away. So if I can just, for the month of July, work on it a little bit every day, and then going forward, work on it a little bit every month, that should be really doable. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And can I just, the chaotic neutral is my pattern. I forgot how much I really, really liked that pattern. It's so fun because the premise was, it's kind of based on role play games, and the yarns that I used to design it originally. Oh, pause. The yarn that I'm using right now is Manos del Uruguay Marina, which is a lace weight. I'm holding it double, 87 yards for 100 grams. And I don't know which colorway is which. Well, I guess I do. This is Butia, Butia. This one, the tag is still in the middle. I'm not going to pull it out. And then do I have the other tag? It doesn't look like it. So, I don't know. I originally designed this pattern using Cattails yarn in her Wheel of Time colorways, specifically the Aja colorways. And listen, Black Aja is one of my favorite colorways ever that anyone has ever dyed. So it's so beautiful. And Wheel of Time is one of the first, no, it was the first role-playing game that I played. It's based off of a set of books, but I played a tabletop role play based off of it. And it was the first one I ever did. So I was really excited. And so the pattern itself, there is a pattern that's based off of, I rolled a D6 to pick the color and the stitch pattern and how many repeats of a stitch pattern. So every section is different and it's fun. And there is a repeating section. So this section with these fancy stitches, these ones, these wrap stitches, that's in between every section. It's just fun. I forgot. I forgot. Good job me designing this pattern that I think is super, super fun. But yeah, those are all of my UFOs that I can find. I did scour my room though to see if I could find so many, and I did my very best. So you'll be seeing these over the next several years. Some of them I want to finish sooner than others, obviously. Some of them are going on my 2027 plans, but some of them are just eventually, right? Thank you for watching. Do you also have UFOs? Or are you really good about frogging things that you don't finish? I would love to hear about anything that you have languishing. Sorry, a notification just popped across my screen and my brain went Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. Let's have a conversation about UFOs, about your whips, anything. Or are you a monogamous crafter? Because I think that concept sounds really cool because you must finish things more quickly, but I couldn't do it. Obviously. Yeah. And I will see you again really, really soon. I do have some vlog footage that's going to come out probably within the week. And then I'm hoping to record another special side tangent. Oh, 2 more videos I would like to record this week. So we'll see how far I get. All right. Done with the Minnesota, Midwest, Michigan. Goodbye. I'll see you soon. I'm not from Minnesota. I'm from Michigan. I'll see you soon. Bye for now, friends.